Hello and welcome to today's Capping Corner. We are going to talk about the Alan Jerkens Stakes. It's on Saturday at Saratoga, and it's for 3-year-old sprinters. And the favorite is probably going to be No Parole. No Parole comes off a win in the Woody Stevens Stakes. We know what he's going to do. He's going to go to the front. Well, he goes to the front in most of his races, and he's never lost a sprint race, as Siggy was telling me. My worry is that he's going to face some pressure this time, maybe from Echo Town, maybe from 8 Rings, maybe from Tap It to Win, or even who else? What do you think of No Parole?
Okay, No Parole is a true sprinter. His only defeat was on the Rebel. That was a two-turn race, and he was not threat in that race. But on sprint races, he looks very tough to beat. He will show speed again. He has a very good post position, and there is some other speedy horses, but I don't think they have the speed that No Parole. For example, Tapito Win, okay, he is a sprinter, but he lacks that early speed. Probably a horse that would be sent is 8 Rings. However, 8 Rings is on the inside, so the advantage is from No Parole. Another horse that will show speed, I think, is Mischievous Alex. Since, okay, in his last race, No Parole was faster than him. But if you watch the past performance, the only way Mischievous Alex wins is running in front. So I think Erato Ortiz would be more aggressive.
But I think you're right. I think No Parole does have a chance to secure the lead, even with that other speed. It all depends on how they break. And No Parole obviously has the class too, since he won the Woody Stevens. I think you have to use him, even if there's other pace pressure.
The only pressure I think would be Mischievous Alex and 8 Rings. But let's see if 8 Rings breaks well from the inside.
Do you want to talk about 8 Rings? He comes off a disappointing run in the Bachelor Stakes at Oaklawn. He was 5th after pressing the pace at 4-5, and he's one of those horses from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile who faded. He faded in that race to 6th, so he was disappointing in that race, and almost every horse out of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile has been disappointing this year. Do you trust 8 Rings?
8 Rings is another 2-year-old wonder, like Storm the Court, like American Theorem, and another. All that 2-year-old crop failed as a 3 years old. So I think 8 Rings would not be the exception. He will show speed, but I don't think he has the quality to win this spot.
Yeah, I don't either. I just can't trust any horse out of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile yet. I think one of them has to win. Well, one of them won in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, but that doesn't count to me.
It was 8 Rings, Angle Or, Storm the Court, American Theorem. No, there is no.
Let's move on. Let's talk about Tap It to Win. He comes off a 5th place finish in the Belmont Stakes, a different version of the Belmont Stakes. It was only 9 furlongs. And it wasn't a bad race for his stakes debut, or actually his second career stakes start. He was also in the Breeders' Futurity last fall, and he faded to 10th in that race. Well, actually, it was his 3rd stakes, sorry. But anyways, it wasn't a bad race. He set the pace, and he faded to 5th. Prior to that, he won an allowance optional claimer at Belmont by 5 lengths, and he beat Mystic Guide and Country Grammar, the 1st and 3rd place finishers in the Peter Pan Stakes. What do you think of Tap It to Win?
Well, Tap It to Win is better on sprint races. Did you notice he broke his maiden at Saratoga in a 6 furlongs race. Then he won again a 6 furlongs race that was on May at Gulfstream Park. I think he's more a sprinter than a roadster. So in this spot, I think, okay, he doesn't have that early speed to deal with No Parole. So I think he can play as a stalker and try to make a move. I think this horse has a shot, despite he's trained by Mark Cassie. Mark Cassie has is winless in this Saratoga meeting, but a win I think, is going to come someday. So this horse has the talent, I think, to win. If not Parole just failed.
All right, it's hard to ignore him off the optional claiming win because Mystic Guide and Country Grammar both ran well in their next start, and he did stalk in his comeback win at Gulfstream Park. So I can't say he needs to lead, not at a sprint distance. But I really don't like Mark Cassie. He's 0 for 12 or something at Saratoga right now. But despite Cassie, I think you have to use him too.
Let's see. Let's talk about a horse that was on the Derby Trail, but failed, and now he's cutting back to sprint races. He's Three Technique. What do you think of him?
I think he's pretty good. I picked him in the Rebel Stakes, and I thought he had good position, but he kind of flattened out in the stretch run. But prior to that, he was second to Gold Street and Smarty Jones, and I thought that was a good effort because Gold Street had the wet track and he had the uncontested lead. And prior to that, Three Technique won a 7 furlong race at Aqueduct. It was just an optional claimer, and he broke his maiden by 5.5 lengths on this course. So that's very important at the same distance, 7 furlongs. So last August, that race is really important because it shows he likes this track. He likes the 7 furlong configuration. My only worry is the layoff, and I'm sure that's your worry as well.
Yes, Three Technique is unbeaten in this distance, 7 furlongs. I think the distance is perfect for him. He just failed when he stretched out. Okay, he was second to Gold Street in the Smart Jones, and then was fourth to Nadal. Okay, Nadal was a top prospect, top contender for the Derby, for the Kentucky Derby. Yes, my concern is the layoff. I think he's going to run well. He's training very well for this race. According to XBTV, he has a very impressive workout when he outworked his partner. His partner was
Critical Value.
His name, Critical Value, and he looks very impressive. So I think he's going to run very well. I'm not sure if he's going to win, but if he runs well, I think he's going to be a major contender on the sprint division.
Yeah, I think he could win, but the more likely placing is maybe third or fourth. He's going to pick off a few tired horses late, and I don't know if he has the fitness to win, but you could use him, yeah. Maybe as a C option.
Yes, at least Jeremiah Engelhardt should have him ready and fit for the race. He is 17% with a horse with 90 or more days layoff. So that's a good percentage.
Right. Let's talk about Mischievous Alex. He was fourth in the Woody Stephens. You could say that No Parole had an uncontested lead, though, and maybe that affected his run. But Mischievous Alex was right on him, and he just had nothing in the stretch run. He kind of faded in the stretch. But it was off the layoff, I guess, if you want to give him an excuse. Prior to that, he won the Gotham Stakes. He won the Swale Stakes by 7 lengths. I'm not going to use Mischievous Alex, but I think you like him, right?
Mischievous Alex, okay, I can forgive his last race a bit. He ran the Woody Stephen with almost 90 days lays off, and that was a very short field. It was a 5-horse race. My concern is I think Mischievous Alex is a horse that I think he needs the lead to win, or at least run very near the lead. I can see him stuck in the pace. I think Irat Ortiz would be aggressive this time with this horse. I like the switch from Kendrick Carmouche So now Ayat Ortiz. So I think the horse is live, but like I said, he needs to be aggressive to have a shot.
So even if no parole goes for the lead, you think Mischievous Alex should just gun it and try to challenge him?
I think that's the only way to win. If he let no parole go, no parole is going to win gate to wire.
Right. I like the other horse from the Woody Stevens, Echo Town. He's a Steve Asmussen horse, and he was second, and he made up some ground in the stretch run. He was second in the race, as I said. Prior to that, he won a allowance race at Churchill Downs. He was second in the Bachelor Stakes, 2 Long Weekend, and I thought that was a good race. And he also won another allowance optional claim at Oaklawn over American Butterfly. I think this is a good horse. He's never finished out of the money. What do you think?
Okay, Echo Town, his best race was the Bachelor Stakes when he lost just by a head with Long Weekend. If he repeats that race, I think he could win. Why not? In the last race, he demonstrated he doesn't need the lead. He was four lengths behind No Parole and was able to close a bit. If someone challenged No Parole, this horse, I think, has a shot. I think he's going to be third or fourth in this race. Yes, because 8 Rings will show speed. Mischievous Alex will show speed. He will be with Tappy to win. Here in fourth, third, fourth, I don't know. He will stop the pace like Tappy to win.
Okay, fair enough. I think Echo Town is on my ticket, maybe as a first or second choice. One of the positives is that Ricardo Santana Jr. chose this horse, and Steve Asmussen has, 3 horses in this race? So I think that's a good sign. Really quick, what do you think of Shoplifted, the other Asmussen?
Oh, he was a kind of disappointment last time out. I'm not using him again.
Right. I picked him in the Woody Stevens, and he had a move on the turn and just kind of flattened out for third, and he let Equitown pass him.
And what about my Sonneman? Is he outclassed in this race?
I think so. I mean, I know it was a match race, but he lost by 19 lengths to Celtic Striker, and his previous race was an optional claimer at Gulfstream, so it wasn't a really good field. I mean, who did he beat? Golden Candy, Ralston? Who are those horses?
I will fight Dempsey. No, it was not a very strong field.
Yeah. You like this horse?
No, in this spot.
I like his pedigree. It's a Curlin over Zardana. Remember, Zardana once beat Rachel Alexandra.
Probably I am a bit South American biased, but this time now, I will not use Sonneman.
Okay. All right, you want to wrap it up?
Finally, your conclusion?
Yeah, I'll go with Echo Town and No Parole and Tap It to Win and 3 Technique. This is not a race to attack. This is just a race to use if you're playing the pick 4 or pick 3. I don't think you can play this vertically within exact or trifecta. It's too complicated. So it's just a race for multi-race wagers, and you have to spread. How about you?
Yes, I'm agree with you. This is not a race to pick one horse to bet to win. My selections are No Parole. He's going to be the favorite. He's in top form. His last workout was pretty impressive, so it's a must in any ticket. My second choice is 3 Technique. Despite he's coming from a layoff and he's training very well for this race. I think he's a sprinter and the distance is okay for him. And my third choice is Echo Town. Why Echo Town? Echo Town ran extremely well last race. The fight was just a 5-horse field with not much and No Parole that time didn't have too much opposition. With some early speed, I think Echo Town would take advantage.
All right, good picks. Well, that's our show for today. As we said, this is a tough race. None of us have a clear single. Have a good weekend, everyone, and hope your bets go well. and we'll discuss what race we're going to talk about next week.
Okay, see you next week.
All right. See you next week.